Hey guys, what's going on? Paul here. Welcome back to another live stream. It has been a while since I've done one, and it's definitely been a long time since myself and Paddy got on a stream together. Those of you who have been around for a while now will probably remember Cardano Crack. We've done it for a good few weeks in a row, I think, and had different guests on. Could be good to try and kick that off again if we can convince Paddy to come back. So anybody tuning in, please do give the video a like, share it out, ask questions in the comment section down below. We've got a few things to run through here, just common questions we've seen on the Midnight Scavenger Hunt or Mine. We created some bots. It started out just to see could we do it, and then for ourselves, and then we thought we'd just give them out to everybody who wants to use them to try and level the playing field. Some people aren't happy about API access, but we figure people are going to do it anyway. So we try and level it. But I'm getting into it already. Paddy, good to have you back.
A few more videos wouldn't be bad. It's been a while. Thing is, when you're so busy with so many things going on, it's hard to make the time. But we're a bit of a chill period at the minute, so it's not so bad. A lot of requests going on. Things are busy with Midnight, so people could are requesting a lot of features actually for a few different things. But we'll get into all that and try and cover most of it and get a good few more videos in the future with things kicking off with Midnight, with Cardano sort of expanding as well and a lot going on there. Things are getting exciting. I know it's a lot of people don't think it's exciting with the price of things, it can be a bit depressing, but there's still a lot of development going on, which excites me more than just token prices. So
I don't think I agree with you on it being quiet at the minute. I don't think we've been this busy in a long time with getting the bots out. What started out as just us kind of playing around with it a few late nights, getting it working, and then once we decided to push it out, there was lots of tidy up, and now people requesting feedback, finding edge cases. We'll get into all that for anyone interested in trying them out. I would say at this point, browser mining for Midnight, just using the standard browser, realistically, you're not going to get much at all from that. There was a huge difficulty increase today. Actually, I presume our audio is okay. Anyone listening in the comments, do let us know if you can hear us okay. We should be live on X and YouTube at the minute. Just as it's been a while since I've done it, I'm hoping I didn't mess it up. But I do see Sarah Pilot has questions there about, we'll get in first, we'll show what there is, and then we'll start answering the questions. All audio good. That's not me, but that's the way that I have my tag on Twitter. That's not my picture, though.
It's you talking to yourself.
Yeah. That one's straight. That came in at 10:41 a.m. So wherever they are, it's a different time zone. It's morning. Smash the like. Yep, that's a good one. Able to hear you guys. Thank awesome. You. Browser mining is broken right now. Is that our browser mining or is that the official one? Because we have one too. Actually, I have it running at the minute because I was testing just before this just to see. So look, I think I have it here. Right. So we put together this website today just because as things grew, just to make it easier. Originally, we just had the GitHub for people to come in and be able to download. But as more and more people were asking questions on how to do it, we just put together a simple site. So we have put together mining bots that you can use. There is a Windows version. The same version works on Ubuntu, just slightly different setup. But if you look here, here's the steps. Download it. There's a setup.cmd file. Run that. And then I will have a video in here probably by tomorrow. You just run that. It installs all the prerequisites on your system. And then you can access it. It'll pop up in your local, in your web browser. You create your wallet. The way that it is set up is the system creates, or the code that you download creates a wallet on your side. It gives you the seed phrase and then you encrypt it with your password. So we have no access to that. It's the same as if you create a wallet within a within Eternal or Lace or any of these, they give you a seed phrase, which can be used to back up the wallet, to restore it anywhere. The wallet that is created through these bots, you can restore that in Eternal later on, or a Lace, or any wallet provider you want. But like them, we have no way to recover it. So it's really important that you back it up. We done this completely like that because we don't want any access to anybody's accounts, funds, anything like that. We leave it in the hands of the user. That's the Windows one. There is the Linux version. I did do a video on that one today. I showed how to get that set up. I got a Ubuntu server. Just you can pay to rent them out for a month. I have loads of them anyway from different things we're doing. And this one I got today, I think it was $18. Set it up on it within a few minutes. You can see me doing it live in the video and even bringing in the first few solutions on it. Very simple. Go into GitHub. There's a setup file, the exact same. And then you can access it in your local browser to once again create your wallet and make sure you back that up. And then there is a browser mining. So this is what I want to just see. Tony says the official browser mining is broken. I'll check that in a minute. We do have, I already have it running here. So this is the browser mining that we have. It's a variant of the Windows download. So this here, there's no install. You can use it. It's not as powerful as the one that you would download or that you put on Linux, but it's an option there for people who don't want to install anything. So you can see it's mining away. It mines up to 100 addresses within the time frame. The difficulty has changed today, so I don't think anyone really is going to be hitting 100 solutions in an hour on each challenge. It's just the way that it's gone. It's not difficult to do that. Paddy, I'm talking a lot, so
yeah, going forward, I think even this browser mining is going to come into a limitation. How many days have we left? 9, is it? 9?
We're on
8?
day 13. So yeah,
Yes.
8 days left.
You know, even in the next 2 to 3 days with difficulty increases, current midnight browser mining is basically done. You're going to be lucky to get a couple of solutions per day with that. You know, I wouldn't be betting on it to get you much. Even our own browser miner has a limitation on hash rate on how much it can use. So even that, maybe in 3-4 days, will have a limitation on how much it gets. It's probably getting what, about 6 to 10 solutions an hour at the minute.
Yeah, even with the
Maybe
big
more.
difficulty increase today, it was on 8 in the last hour. It's on 6 for the last hour there. Some hours you'll get maybe a little bit more, some a little bit less, just depending on luck that you have.
Yeah, 2 to 3 days, that's going to be way down. So it's going to be down to running it natively, and that was part of the main reason of having
solution just come in there.
Awesome. The native deployments, it can use your resources more efficiently, and I would recommend anybody to be using those types of features. The web variants, they are eventually going to struggle because, you know, the difficulty in these things, there's more people involved, there's more people using, you know, software to, you know, maximize the solutions. And that's just the nature of mining. That's what happens. So you look at the likes of Bitcoin mining, the amount of hash rate you need for Bitcoin mining now is exponentially massive. But, you know, this is the fun part of mining. And if this was to go on, you would imagine down the line it would be massive servers and stuff like that, and it becomes a business in itself for people. But thankfully it's a limited time period.
Yeah, I think there's already, the last few days I've seen a huge amount of people getting in. There's different bots out there as well. There's other people have put out bots. Some have opened them. I don't think many have just opened out the code. It's there for anyone who wants to check it out. There was a question there. No, not that one. $1 million. Curly, you tried modifying for Linux, but it failed. If you go to this site here, which is miner.ada.markets, it's linked in the description down below this. you will see that if you click on the Linux Ubuntu and then view on GitHub, oh, I need to change that link actually. That just downloaded it. But you can see it's in the GitHub repo. I will put the link to it here. And then you can just go over to GitHub and you can get a copy of the code yourself, or you can download it there. If you're on your server, you can pull it in. And if you are good with the with code, you can probably edit it on your server either. But you should have full access to the code there. Leave us a comment on some of the posts on X as well, or below this video if you have any issues.
I've seen a number of issues where people saying things can't start. A lot of the time, I don't know what way different GitHubs are set up. It doesn't pull in the hash server, and without the hash server, you're unable to start your hashing. So there is an exe file for that pre-built for Windows, but for the Ubuntu setup, the shell script should be compiling it. There's a lot more complexities in each setup. A lot of people have managed to get it running, so it becomes down to random errors and random setups, and sometimes it takes it. Even if you chat GPT sometimes yourself, you'll probably figure out what might be missing. I've had so many people message me with different problems, so it's very hard to cater and put things in that will solve all the problems for everybody. There's it's just the nature of the beast with so many different setups looking to use it.
Yeah, the file actually, just the file that you were talking about there. If I switch what I'm sharing here and see, I share the full screen, I should be able to show a bit more then. Or I share the right one. Too many screens. Screen 3. Okay, right one. So this is the file. So when you download it from GitHub on Windows anyway, it's the same file that you get on Linux. This is what you're going to get. When you want to start, or when you download first, you won't have secure or storage. They are important files there. The secure contains you can see here, it contains the derived addresses. So that's the addresses that are created out of your seed phrase. So the seed phrase, the encrypted version is there. That's encrypted with your password. I would say as well as copying out your seed phrase, it's no harm to copy out the secure file and just have that as well. It means if you want to, say you download another version of this at some point, you can copy in the secure file and the storage file, and then it'll be picked up by the new code base. They're the ones that remember. So when you're looking at the miner, you will see it remembers all your solutions. We don't have a direct endpoint on Midnight to be able to pull back all the results. So what it does is every time it finds a solution, it saves the details of that into the storage file. So that's just how it has the memory there. So if you download a new version, you can just copy in them files. But if you just download and replace this code, it should all be fine and just work as it was. On Linux, Ubuntu, this is the setup script that you want. There was some updates pushed to that today, so it should install. If you look at the video I had here, you'll see me running it on a Ubuntu server, and it just goes straight through. There's also scripts there then for if you want to stop it, you want to start it, or if you just want the status of what's going on. So hopefully they help, but if not, let us know some of the questions.
Yeah, there was a question there I wanted to answer there. Someone was asking about restoring wallets.
Oh, yeah.
We hadn't added that simply because of the fact is we don't want the risk of people restoring wallets that are nothing associated with the Midnight mining, or the risk of people coming along and said we've emptied wallets or did this or did that. So it's pretty much a very simplistic setup of here is a brand new wallet. This will be used simply for mining. And then there's a big topic that we have to discuss, which will be the whole consolidation or donation process. So, well, we're going to that now, Paul. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Actually, I'm going to stop sharing and see can I bring up the desktop miner and the Linux miner, just if you want to keep talking away there. It'll
Yeah.
be easier to
So
explain then.
to give everybody a bit of info on the Midnight browser miner, there was the limitation on there is you're using one wallet plus also it's in a browser, and you're only able to do one solution. So with the apps that myself and Paul have released and others have released as well, it's using multiple addresses. So the big thing that we have been waiting on from Midnight, which is a good couple of people tagged us in today, is the donation API. Is now live. We haven't tested it yet, but we will do. We have plenty of time. The idea is that, for example, if I've mined using 100 addresses on said wallet, it will merge all of the rewards for each of those addresses into one address. And that means then you have one wallet with one address that you can claim. I think there's going to be 4 claims, I think, Paul, if I remember correctly.
Yes, spread over a full year.
Yeah, so that means you're doing it once. If that donate API wasn't there, it would have meant doing it for every address, which, all right, I probably could have written a script, but it would have been cost a good amount in fees and stuff like that. So two scenarios that we're going to have when we test and do the consolidation process. Once the whole mining period is finished is it the 21st or no, the
And
19th?
8 days from now, 19th, is it?
19th.
Next Wednesday.
So post the 19th, we'll turn the consolidation process on, which is using the donate API. And there'll be 2 ways of using it. You can consolidate everything into one address on the same wallet, or you can consolidate into another wallet that you might want to use. That means that this whole mining process has been totally separated for any other funds and processes that you might have been using your wallets for. But that'll be an option for people to choose. Personally, I'm going to keep this wallet that I've been mining with, and I will consolidate all my addresses into one. And then that'll just mean anytime that the withdrawal process opens up, I can just go in with that wallet. You know, it'll be hopefully one click of a button. Hopefully that explains it all and gives everybody an idea of what's going to be coming. But that donate API was very important. Hopefully when we test it later that it does work, as a few people have tagged us in a few tweets today to say it is working. So
just on the donate, I think you said we'd enable it after this ends. It needs to be done before that. I think actually, I'm not sure if the donate is going to be separate, but they did say the APIs would only be open till one day after mining. They said that originally. So they did put out the other day to say that the APIs won't work for mining on the last day. They're going to give that to browser miners. So I would say Paddy's Twitter or X, I don't know if I put that in the description. I'll put that below, mine and Paddy's, and follow both over on X. That's the best way to kind of keep up with updates. I will put out a video if that is live. Hopefully it is live. We might check it after the stream. It depends how late we go here. And if not, we will dig into that tomorrow. And before I get into this, actually, Sean, where is that one? John, I think you had asked over on X as well about this. I didn't get a chance, or I don't think Paddy did either, to check if there is a max thread count of 32.
No, I don't think so. So there's 2 parts to it. So the hash engine is set up to utilize the performance of your CPUs. So it'll scale. The workers are the interaction between the UI sort of orchestrator and the actual hashing engine. So a lot of your CPU usage will be in that process. The workers take all of the challenge and hashes that it needs to do to the hash engine. I don't believe there's an upper limit on the worker threads of 32. Well, I certainly didn't set one. It should be fine. I'll have a look.
We'll come back to, I know you've posted on X as well, John, so we'll reply on that again, depending on how the stream goes here. Tonight tonight or tomorrow. Or Paddy's typing away there. Maybe he's even looking now.
I'll take a note on it and I'll check after this. But I don't believe I said any max threads because there was going to be people who have rack servers and stuff with multiple CPUs in them. So I didn't plan for any sort of limitation. I knew people would have been maxing them out. Plus, some people with AMD Epics and stuff like that we're probably going to be doing more. Yeah, no, I'll check it out, but it shouldn't be a limitation. If there is a limitation affecting you at the minute, then you can go for the bat size increase. Wouldn't go too mad on it because that's sort of a little bit less. It's different the way that works, so you got to fine tune both. But play around with it. Play around with it.
I'm just going to do the few questions and then we'll walk through what the miner is here. That'll probably answer some of the questions people have as well. Can't mind the last 3 hours. Patrick, I presume that's the standard Midnight miner. I know lots of people have been having issues with it. Hash rate has been decreasing every day. Is that because of the difficulty? Your hash rate shouldn't decrease, I don't think. Unless maybe your system needs a restart at some point if it's just been running for so long. No harm to reset, especially if you're running it on your local machine. Just let it kind of calm down for a little while and cool off. But hash rate shouldn't decrease. Difficulty goes up. That means that it takes more hashes to actually find the solution. Right now, it's 4.2 million is the estimated to find a solution. When we started mining, I think it was 100,000, maybe less.
Yeah,
it was
less. There's some good less as well, but 100,000 for a good day or two.
And this question here, rigor mortis, you should get more rewards for solving difficulty. But the way that it works is they want to slow down the number of solutions that are coming in because there's a set amount of night tokens to be given out every day. I'll check it after this. I think it's 47 million, something in around that now that people can get. So that's going to be split up by however many solutions come in that day. So the idea is to minimize the amount of solutions that come in. We'll look at them numbers now in a few minutes. Can't restart session. Again, I think that's the Midnight browser. Let me know if it's not. If it's one of ours. Maximum number of worker threads and batch size. I think, Paddy, you talked about that just before, and we're going to look at that and come back. Curly, no problem. That was on the Ubuntu stuff. Danny got 300 night. I hope to get rich next year. Yeah, that's another topic. The price of night. Put some guesses in the comments. What do you think night token will actually be worth?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a question I get asked a lot, but what about the consolidation for standard browser users?
It won't be a thing.
Yeah, I don't know if there's.
No, they won't need it. They won't. They will only have been using one single address.
Well, there is some people have been running like multiple browsers, and so we won't promise anything. We'll see if it works. If there's an easy script. No, actually, I don't know if we want to do that because we'd have to take people's keys to.
Yeah,
we'll see
if we something, but
if we can come up with a solution where we don't have to let people restore or anything into ours, we'll see. NuFi also have a solution where you can mine with multiple addresses within the wallet, so they might put out a solution too.
Well, we could actually do this. We could actually do this from the another app with wallet connectivity because you have to sign the transaction. So, but it would take a good amount of work. We'll see.
Yeah. Not enabling the donate functionality would force a lot of users to go and buy ADIF. Yeah, that's
pump up the treasury.
But the thing I was thinking on that as well is, so look at this here. It's a good thing to. Oh yeah, that was a. Actually, I think that, or was it the C? I think there was a C dependency that was added into the setup earlier, but yeah, you would need Rust too. But this is a good point here. So this is, if anyone watched the video yet on the site, where the setup site that we have for installing, this is the server I installed earlier on today with the Ubuntu server. So you can see it's been up 7.5 hours, because the first few minutes is registering the addresses and everything. And I haven't done anything since that video. I set it up and I logged out. I just logged in here now to show you what it looks like, because Windows and Linux look the same because you open it in your normal browser. You can see here, shows you the challenge that it's mining. The solutions in this hour, it's done 3 this hour, 30 minutes into it. So far in the 7.5 hours, it's done 56 solutions. And you can look at it here. You can look at the breakdown per address. So this is what I was going to say. Actually, they are, is that just for this challenge? Where is the one? Addresses. Yeah, so you can see here, each of these addresses has 9 solutions, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. So if there was no consolidate at the end of this, and I had a load of addresses that had 1 night that was, or 2 night that are going to be split up over 4 airdrops, there's no point in claiming them. So there could be a lot of night tokens not claimed that then go into the next phase, which is the lost and found. I don't know how that one's going to work yet, but there's potentially interesting things if they don't enable the donate. But this is the browser. Anything I should cover, Paddy, on it?
No, we'll definitely be. There's been multiple versions of this released. There is nothing that you need in it that you need to upgrade at the minute for to even interrupt your mining. So don't even take the risk. Keep mining those tokens, getting those receipts in. The main one will be the whole consolidate. So we will put a feature in here. It's disabled at the minute, and I'll be expanding on it to give 2 different types of the whole consolidation process. But you're right, yeah, we'll need to get it released maybe the 16th or 17th, so that people have, can plan out that, okay, we've finished mining. Nobody can mine with these apps anyways on the 18th. So run the consolidation process maybe on the 18th. I would say there's going to be a lot doing it. I don't know how their servers are going to cope with that, because it's going to be pretty busy, and considering each person's going to be doing a couple of 100 addresses potentially. So plan ahead for that. We'll probably maybe do another live in and around there anyways, Paul, just for to help people out, and we'll be available for anyone who messages. But we're still, we're learning through this process as well. So if we don't know something, we'll try and figure it out for sure.
Yeah. Look, we'll try and help as much as possible. There's a fair amount of questions, messages, different things coming in. So if it does take a bit of time to get back, it's not that we're not out there helping people. It's just that there's a lot of feedback coming in and questions. Just on this one, Mark, if you're asking about a way to check your addresses, if it's using the bot that we have here, you can do it under addresses. You can see here, these are the addresses from this particular account that was set up earlier on. Now, it registers 200 addresses. It's never going to use 200 addresses now. This was early on. If we do make an update, we might change the default to register less addresses. I would say if you hit 30 addresses, 40 maybe in an hour, with the current difficulty, that's going very good. Questions over 767 night until the system froze a few hours ago. Thing wondering is 21 days mining going to be only worth under 1,000 night at around $10. May not be worth it. Yeah, that's the thing. Nobody knows what the price is going to be. If the price was 1 cent or the price was €1, I don't know which I'd be more surprised with. I don't think I've seen people saying, you look at what Zcash is doing now, night is going to be at least $2-3. And no, it's a different ball game doing that. I do like Midnight. I like the concept of the privacy where you can have it or you can turn it off. And I think there's definitely a lot of good things there. But straight out of the gate, I don't think we're seeing anything like that. We just have to wait and see. But anyone else who has opinions on price, let me know. Or Paddy, do you have a crystal ball there?
No, I have no crystal ball on price. But I can't say we will be building an app or two. We'll see. So there'll be good people to watch out for that.
That's over on Midnight.
Yeah. So you know this, so there's no point talking to you about it. But yeah, just give people a heads up. There'll be stuff coming once we get all this mining stuff out of the way and Midnight node set up. There's going to be apps. So
yep. Let me see. And people thinking that Midnight is leaving Cardano and everything like that. I think as more and more information comes out, people are starting to see how interconnected the two are really going to be. That's kind of outside the context of this stream, but if you see people talking about Midnight or building something on Midnight like we're talking about here, that doesn't mean you're leaving Cardano to build on Midnight. The two are going to work together, and there's going to be a lot of intricacies there that can work very well for Cardano. Let me see what I actually think. We're talking about the stats. Yeah, so actually someone was asking about the rewards, and there should be more rewards for more difficult challenges. But the reason they're changing the difficulty is, so you can check this out on the site, this is the number of solutions that were submitted every day. So I think really they want to keep that under 20 million. So that means that the night per solution is kept over 2 nights per solution. So the reason that you don't get more for a harder challenge is because it's all based on the number of solutions that are put in the 24 hours. And then the 47 million night are split over evenly over all them solutions because everybody is submitting the same challenges. 24 billion at $1 would be a market cap of 24 billion. I hope you're wrong, but I don't see it for, there goes the camera overheating. I'll turn it back on in a minute. But I don't see it for a year or so. Yeah, and well, it's not going to be 24 billion at launch either, because the FDV, the fully diluted value, could be 24 billion at $1. But when this comes out first, I suppose there's a maximum that would be 25% of that would be available for people to claim. But that amount won't even be available on the first 90 days. There's other allocations and different things too. So it'll be a lot smaller than 24 billion. I would guess something around 3 to 4 billion as an initial circulating supply as people start to claim. So we'll just have to wait and see where it goes on price. Is there anything else we talked about that we're going to look at? So yeah, that's the official site. Do I have another? Actually, I'll start the session just for people that aren't familiar with it. I need to... Actually, I'm just going to show these Twitter posts first. The Midnight Summit. So the Cardano Summit is on tomorrow and Thursday. Unfortunately, couldn't make it over this year. Was there last year in Dubai. It was a great event. I'm just going to turn on this camera. Come back up. Starts to overheat out here. Must be my CPU burning up the room.
Yeah, too much mining going on in there.
So yeah, I do have to get a video out on Cardano updates. Probably try and get one out tomorrow. I'll see what comes out in the summit, any announcements that are there, but that's happening tomorrow and Thursday. Midnight are also doing a summit that is next weekend or next Monday and Tuesday, I think.
It's virtual though, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's virtual.
It's virtual. There is, they are bringing some people together, but it is more they're bringing developers and people to build on Midnight. They didn't want it to be kind of just open general public. Their strategy has been to attend all the main crypto events around the world. So attend all the big events and have a presence there rather than putting the money into having a big summit where people come just for Midnight. which
Yeah.
I think is a very good strategy because people don't really know much about Midnight yet. So getting out there to where the crowds are was the better approach. Maybe in a year or two, then they'll start having a summit like Cardano, but we'll see. That will be, a lot of it will be streamed, and I'll try and get some updates out on that next week when we see what it is. Catalyst, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, it's just to highlight that Catalyst has got a sort of partnership with Midnight for sort of the same sort of scenario, where you can, apply for funding for projects. I think it's a really good incentive. There's a lot of unique ideas that the Midnight capabilities give projects. And you can see some of the ones here in terms of governance, AI, health specifically. You'll probably see a lot of health orientated privacy, but there's tons of other, privacy related projects in terms of DeFi that can really help with privacy. So to me, I'm really interested in novel concepts because each time we see crypto blockchains kick off or something happening, it's the same old rehash of the same ideas in a lot of places. Now, the privacy factor will give Midnight a huge advantage, especially with the smart contract capabilities. But I'm specifically looking out for novel concepts. And one thing to throw out to the community is I've been looking for a website where if anybody is tracking projects or teams that have announced their building on Midnight. I haven't been able to find one yet. So if anybody knows any, maybe drop us or tag us in an X post. I'd like to connect with a lot of these teams.
That could be our first easy to set up project over there. Website directory to track all the projects. And just for anyone watching, please do give the video a like, share it out, or ask questions. We might go for another 10 minutes or so, depending on questions. I don't think we have much else to talk through here. What was it? Yes, 56 Hope Road. I think there is going to be streams of the summit, the Midnight Summit. The Cardano Summit, I'm not sure. I presume there's going to be something. I haven't actually seen it yet. Don't know if you, Paddy.
No, I haven't.
Hip Paul, is there a spelling error in the URL in your description? Maybe I spelt it wrong. It should be miner.ada.markets. I was putting it in quick before the video, so maybe I done it wrong. I can check that after. Is he going to edit it here? Edit. Oh, yeah, I spelled markets wrong. I put in an extra E, typing too quick. So I don't know if that... the stream must be... Oh, no, I can't edit it from here. I'll edit it when this stops. So that is that one. The other one was about the scavenger update. So this is a little bit old now, but just to mention it. So originally there was... What was the original? Is it 600 million or 636 million maybe? Night. Can't fully remember. That was up for rewards. They changed that then to 1 billion. That's why in the last few days you will have seen your rewards have gone up. If you look at this, there's actually the address, miner.ada.markets is this site here. So you can see these are the rewards. It would be nice to go back to the first day where it was 6 night for every solution. 3 was one day there that was really good. I think there was something, I can't remember what happened that day. Was there some...
a lot of browser issues started to materialize with people, and people were getting disconnected a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And you can obviously see post day 4, the ramp up of bots and applications kicking off. And one thing I'd like to touch on, actually, there was a lot of people who were quite aggressive whenever we first announced, these applications, and then
you're a scammer, Paddy, for trying to help people.
Yeah, I know. And the thing about it is, a lot of people didn't know there was API documentation out there. I don't know if you have the link to it on hand, Paul, but it's
just
there.
need to share another screen.
It's in the Midnight documentation, and a lot of people didn't know about this. and they didn't know that it was possible. And only from myself and Paul sitting and investigating it that we thought, okay, actually, this is documentation for mining. So it was all totally legitimate. And the main idea of giving it to the community was so that nobody misses out on these things. There is always, and it happens in, I've been around crypto for a long time, and these types of things, a select few get this knowledge and never share it. And I'd like to think that, maybe Cardano community and and also the Midnight community is different. So I'm glad that a lot of people have been able to get involved. It wasn't nice being called a scammer, or called someone a few other different things that were put in there. But, the code is totally open source. Anybody can review it, check it. It's totally legitimate. There's nothing in it that's malicious in any way, shape, or form. It was just to give people a way of mining with a bit of software, rather than when I was using the browser myself, I was like, oh, this is just not great, there's got to be better ways. So,
Yeah, that is the document there, and I suppose it's there for anyone to get if they want. I found it in the Midnight FAQ. So what I would say is they wouldn't have opened up an API if they didn't think, or if they didn't want people to actually use it. So I know people wanted it all to be browser mining, but when there was an API, it was never going to be just browser mining. So that's why instead of us just doing it and keeping it to ourselves, we opened it up so that anybody can come in and benefit from it. This is the endpoint that we're waiting to be activated, the donate to. So this is where you can reassign the solutions found by one address to another. So the idea would be that all the addresses under one of the miners can all be associated back with one address. So when you go to claim, you just claim from that one address rather than having to do it for 30, 40, 50 different addresses. Let me see. Star. So Star is the smallest form of a Knight token. So like you have Lovelace for ADA or you have Satoshis for Bitcoin, Star is the equivalent for Knight. Next, what have we got? If Knight is CNT and Cardano hit $5, you'll need $5 plus to move the Knight to a centralized exchange. Yeah, it's probably a topic for another one, but yeah, something has to change. And to be honest, right now, Cardano transaction fees don't raise much for the network. I think I've seen something like 60, 70,000 ADA every epoch, which is tiny. There's millions of ADA goes out in staking rewards. So we're way off covering that. That's the idea long term, is that as the rewards pot starts to go down, the transaction fees are going up, so they make the difference. So that is what goes to staking rewards. But what I would be thinking of proposing would be just put the transaction fees right down, especially when we do get Laos live, which gives us a far bigger throughput. So we're not worried about someone flooding the network with really cheap transactions. When we get Laos, I think one of the first things that should be looked at is transaction fees on the network, because we don't really care about how many transactions are submitted then. So put them really cheap, especially for swaps on dexes and things like that. You want to encourage more people to trade. The deposit as well, like you're talking about there, that you have to send ADA with the native asset. I would like to see that brought down to maybe under 1 ADA, maybe half an ADA or something like that. Again, it just makes the user experience a lot better. We probably will have Babel fees by the time Knight is out there. There is different forms of it there already. So users wouldn't directly have to hold ADA to send it, but on the back end, it would be using ADA to send it.
Yeah, the Cardano native token for Knight is definitely going to be there. And I think it's going to improve overall activity on Cardano. That's for sure. And trading and DeFi options. And there's sort of a lot of things that will come about from this is a high value token. And when you compare it to some of the project tokens that have sort of released, Will it take top spot in TVL? I don't know. I'm 50-50. I don't know if we want to do a prediction market on that, but it could be interesting. Could be a good prediction market to have. Will it take
Bodega,
top
is it?
spot? Yeah. So it could be an interesting one to throw out there. I would probably bet yes. But it's going to be interesting to see when this all kicks off. I'm looking forward to, the activity in and around Cardano because of it.
I think it takes the number one spot, number one Cardano native token. When I'm looking there, SNEC is $146 million of a market cap. That's so small in the bigger picture. Like something like SNEC should be a lot higher than that. Then you have WMTX is 91 million. That's the next one in market cap. So like these are relatively small market cap tokens. If you were looking at the big picture in crypto in general, they're all really small numbers. So I think you could see Midnight or Night taking the top spot fairly quickly after launching. My miner won't activate. I presume this is all this miner when people talk about it. Now, it did activate for me. I don't know. There's different browsers do have different issues. This is the official Midnight one, and you can see, there's a lot of solutions not solved. Well, actually, I only kicked it off there 8 minutes ago, so we'll see how it does. But it's definitely got a lot slower on this too. Anything else before we start to wrap up, Paddy?
No, it's just exciting and I'm enjoying it. And I'm hoping everybody else who's involved and is mining and gathering in their night tokens are enjoying the process. Another 7 days left, which is, not much. And just that everybody should expect to earn less per day is going to be the norm. With the difficulty going up, just accept that. So it's try and get as much in as you can in the next couple of days, and just then we wait. I think it's been a great process for getting activity within the community and the ecosystem. So it's I've enjoyed it, but the engagement has been awesome.
Yeah, it definitely got a lot of people interested. Whether it's just people chasing the money that's potentially there for Night, or for me, it got me interested in even the building side and what potentially could be built when you see how quickly we can put something like this together, and trying to think of other ideas now, what we can do on Cardano or on Midnight or whatever it is to be able to put stuff together that's useful for people like this. Because yes, there was a few people said, oh, scammers doing mining bots and stuff like that. But overall, there was huge support, and a lot of people were very thankful to be able to get the option to do this because they don't have the technical ability to build them themselves. So for that, that's been really encouraging for me to see what else we can do to put out there. Obviously, there's still a week left. Like you say, keep moving with them. Let me see. Just go back to the miner for anyone who might have joined late. Just to show before we finish. Solved. So this is the come up. So this is what the Windows or desktop miner looks like. Actually, was that on 2 the last time I was on here, or 3? I can't remember, a few minutes ago.
3.
Yeah, so another 2 solutions just there in the background. This is the one running on the Ubuntu server from the demo that I done on how to set it up. But it's just running away itself. The Windows one looks exactly like this. This hash rate will depend on your system, how big it actually is. But that's that one. And the web version, I keep having to change screens here. And the web one, we're going to finish up here. If there's no other questions, we will close it out now in the next 2 or 3 minutes. And then our version of the web is this one here. Again, I can't remember what the solutions were. Well, there's one 10 minutes ago. 10:47, 10:42, 10:41, 41,
Yeah,
30.
I think we were on around 5 or 6 for the last hour. So in this hour, you're getting 10, which isn't bad. It's 10 times
Yeah.
the sort of the official browser.
I know. I think actually, am I running? Where's my settings? Yeah, so I'm running on 75% of the CPU, and actually,
You're running 2
hasn't.
miners.
Well, the other one's running on
Oh,
the
okay.
Ubuntu side.
Okay.
Yeah, so my system's running kind of hot here with doing a stream as well, and lots of different things going. But you can see the system's still fine running away. When I'm going away, sometimes I turn it up to 100% and just let it run that way, so you get more hash power, so you're mining faster than at that time, or you have more chance of getting it. But let's take a look. Miners inactive, stuck at 0, waiting for the next challenge. Yeah, I think probably everyone that's talking about that is the official miner rather than the ones we have. So I think it's just the amount of people using it. It's just such a big load on the system.
Yeah.
I see. Thinking because I'm mining on a Chromebook with no computer power. Yeah, if you're on a Chromebook, I don't know what the specs would be, but probably not that powerful Chromebook, or CPU wise. I'm not sure. You wouldn't really need that much CPU power on a Chromebook. Polling error, stack aggregate. There goes the camera again. I think that's just a sign to finish up the stream now. Sorry, yeah, just on this error, I'm not sure what that is. Sometimes the best solution for any IT problem is turn it off and turn it on again, close down your whole system. Sometimes it helps. It sounds stupid, but when family members ring me asking, I'm the IT guy in the family, so it's like, oh, how do I fix this? Did you turn it off and turn it on again? It works at least half the time. Like half the time, you don't have to get into any more detail. Mine is the same issue. Yeah, I think that's all the browser, the standard Midnight browser. If you want, you can try out this one here. This is all browser based as well. But anyone joining late, this is the site we've put together. It's live stats. These are polling all the time on Midnight. You can see it's up to date with the challenge. Difficulty. Actually, that is something to mention. The difficulty on the official Midnight browser at the minute says the difficulty is very easy, but it's actually completely the opposite. And when this system automatically updated with the difficulty, it actually said it was very easy as well. I had to go into the code, and what it was doing was initially they were just adding zeros to the start of it, and that's what changes the difficulty. But then there's zeros coming on the end, so you need to count all of the zeros in the calculation to work out what the hashes are. So I'm sure they'll update that fairly soon. But anyone who wants links, instructions on how to get started, they're all here, miner.ada.markets. And Paddy, closing thoughts before I close down here?
I just need to find more CPUs to do more mining. I need more servers. That's about it for me. And I need more powerful CPUs was the difficulty. One question I was wondering, is there a max difficulty that they've thought of, or is it just more or less to keep it controlled?
I think if miners keep going online, they're going to keep going up. My thoughts are anytime we get close to 20 million solutions for a day or projected to hit there, we generally seem to get a difficulty increase. So that's my guess.
You're probably right. You're probably right. You're a man of multiple wisdoms in different fields, so I'd say you're right.
Yeah, you didn't work out that GPU yet?
Oh man, that was fun. Do you know what? I didn't do the GPU stuff in terms of it being faster, because of the resistance, and I did a good amount of research. I didn't believe it was going to be faster, but I was able to get it sending the hashing and the algorithm to my NVIDIA GPU 3070. It just didn't generate the correct hashes. Would it have been faster? Yeah, I could have got it faster than what I currently have with just a CPU. So it would have been a CPU and a GPU running simultaneously on the same set of batches of hashes. But in the end, it's not really of use. Simply with it's designed, better solutions is more CPUs rather than more graphics cards. So yeah, but it was fun. Now, I did waste a lot of hours on it. I did learn a lot of things, but in the end, I had to give up, unfortunately.
Enable your DApp account. Not sure what that is. Maybe for, yeah, if you are connecting to Midnight, if you connect your wallet, you will have to sign on the wallet. You should get a pop-up when you do that. Definitely having issues with mining also. Yeah, certain browsers, and I think at certain times it just gets overloaded because I don't think they quite thought they would have just as many. I think the last time, I have a link here. Yeah, so currently there has been 12 million wallets have taken part in it. Now, obviously, that's not 12 million people. When you look at here, I've shown different wallets that I'm using on this computer here. So there's 12 million wallets, but that's a lot of attention. It's a lot of calls going into the system, and it's
massive.
Yeah.
And we've seen in the early days of, well, when I say early days, I'm talking like it's been on for a long time. In the first couple of days, with things starting to scale up, more people starting to use it, they did have server issues, and fair play to them. They've managed to scale things up, and they've managed to keep things running. There's been a few maybe major incidents, but didn't last very long. So, it's always good to be overloaded. It means things are very popular and there's a huge demand, and the community is wanting these night tokens. So for me, it's a good and bad thing, but I prefer the popularity side over the servers not being able to keep up, because they can always fix that.
Last 60 okay, anyone who has been watching, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully it has been a help. We might do another one in a few days if there are similar questions here and over on X. Maybe we'll jump on another stream in the next few days. Going to close it out with one thing that we didn't mention, and that is Fetch. So we have built Fetch as well, and there was a fully new version went live a few weeks ago. Probably kept it a little bit quiet. So if you haven't been on Fetch in a while, it's had a good, decent improvement on it in the last while. Maybe there's my CPU is kicking in, killing me. There we go. So
you're doing too much mining, Paul.
It's too much going on, yeah. Whole new interface here on Fetch, going through. There we go. Stable coins. So new stablecoin aggregator. So if you want to, with the liquidity being so low on Cardano for stablecoins, if you want to swap 10,000 ADA, here it tells you that you should go into these 3 different stablecoins. If I didn't want one of them, I could untick them, and you can confirm your swap. It swaps into multiple ones. New tokens page to keep track of the markets. So we were talking about market caps actually of would Night token hit number 1. I'll leave that for other people to decide whether it could. Look, top 3 projects in Cardano, all good projects, but all extremely small market caps in the bigger picture in crypto. So I think we could see something else. So again, anyone looking to swap tokens, Fetch is there. And that's it for me. Thanks everyone for watching. Paddy, it's great to have you back on. And let's do another one fairly soon.
Yep, awesome. Let's get one before the end of the mining.
All right, thanks, guys. We will talk soon. Don't forget to follow both over on X. I will put the links below here now, and I'll double check the link for the miner page too. Thanks, guys. Talk soon.